Can a rapper become successful today without their city or hometown behind them?
Yes. Hell yeah, you can. I say that because I feel like, I don't want to necessarily say that's like 100. I feel like I'm one of those people. I don't have Atlanta fully behind me like that, but I feel like it depends on how you define success. For me, success was doing music full time, getting paid for it, taking care of my family, all from doing some shit that I love, which is music. I'm doing it, so I consider myself successful. But I necessarily don't have, Atlanta behind me like that. But Atlanta doesn't dislike my shit like that. I'm not enemies with, I'm born and raised here, but my shit popped. I think the West Coast, Midwest took a liking to my shit more so than my own city. So yeah, you definitely can.
Are things getting better? Your relationship with Atlanta?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like it never was in a fucked up place. It just, it didn't fit the mold of what every other rapper was doing in Atlanta. Sonically, it may, but lyrically it didn't. And I feel like, that's just Atlanta. I feel like a lot of rappers that are super fucking lyrical, sometimes the city, I was exception for fucking Outkast. I get T.I. that too. But I don't know. But yeah, I feel like the city still fuck with me heavy, but it's not, it just don't, my sound don't fit in like with the typical Atlanta shit. But Atlanta fuck with me, and I fuck with the sound. Sonically it does. Because if you listen to my shit, if you listen to the,
The beats?
yeah, you could, it definitely can, but just as far as just the dialect, the slang, and the shit I'm talking about, it necessarily don't really, I could see how a lot of people say, I didn't know you was from Atlanta. I get that.
Do you get that?
Yeah, I do. And I get that, and I also understand why they would say that.
As you were making music and creating this path to success, was that discouraging, those kind of reactions?
Yeah, it was definitely in the beginning. It was because this is all I knew was Atlanta. I'm born and raised here, so I didn't know about a world. I knew it was a world outside of Atlanta, but I wasn't, the internet wasn't necessarily like, with social media wasn't like the shit back then. The internet was still, I think what we had like MySpace or some shit like that, but the social media game, I feel like with IG, it's like helping a lot of fucking artists get their shit out. But yeah, it was discouraging because all I knew was Atlanta, and my shit was always a little left. So going places and hearing people say, yeah, the shit dope, we just don't know what to do with it. So that got discouraging, but it was social media and the internet that helped broaden the fan base. It was like, oh shit, there's a world outside of Atlanta. And I think when I went on my first tour and I saw like how people react, I was like, holy shit, I didn't even know I had fucking fans outside of, in different places, in different fucking countries. It was crazy. So that gave me the insight to realize that, damn, the world is bigger than Atlanta. So now it doesn't bother me at all.
When you were making the music that you make, that wasn't, for lack of a better phrase, fitting with the Atlanta sound.
Yeah.
Were you doing that on purpose because you wanted to stand out and be different from the Atlanta sound? Was that encouraging to you in the sense that, you know what, nobody's doing this right now, so I'm gonna do this lane?
No, it wasn't. I always just loved music, man. It just came from shit that I was influenced by. Like, I was influenced by Outkast. They was always, a little left. I would definitely say Eminem was one of the big influences of mine. So, and I was always influenced by just people that can fucking just rap. I love the art of rap. So when I hear someone saying some crazy shit, and I don't mean crazy by outlandish, I mean just some amazing shit, like where you just sit there and you like, how the fuck did that person come up with that? Either how did he come up with that wordplay? How did he think to put this metaphor with that? It was just the art of rap that drew me to rap. Like, that shit is like, it's like if you're a person that's into art, and some people, you can look at like an abstract piece of art and you'll say, this is so, you get it. as a person is in the, you know, art like that, where versus another person is, we'll look at it like, fuck you, I don't get it. But so that's how hip hop was to me, man. I was mesmerized by that type of shit, and so I had so many different influences that's where it kind of came from. So it was a natural thing for me. So I wasn't necessarily trying like, let me be different. It was just, I was just doing what I was influenced by.
You liked that music, you enjoyed that music,
Yeah.
so that's the world you saw yourself in.
Exactly.
Was there a point, now you did say sonically, and we're talking beat-wise,
Yeah.
it is an Atlanta sound, the drums, that sort of thing.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Was that like that from the jump as well?
Yeah. I would definitely say, yeah, if you go back and listen to projects, I had like Freebasing with Kevin Bacon, shit like My Grandma's Basement. You listen to those beats, because I love all types of music. I never disliked Atlanta music. It's just that I was just, you know, influenced by I was influenced by a lot of shit. So I was influenced by Atlanta music as well. I love like the fucking beats hard as fuck. It was just that I like rapping over it. I think, you know, some artists, you know, may take a simpler approach to it, and I just took more of a lyrical approach to it. So the sound always like, that shit jamming. Like even some shit that, you know, I just love music, man. I'm not one of those people that's like, I can't fuck with this because I never was like that, bro. Like I love shit from West Coast to, you know, New York to down here. I never limited myself to, my ears never limit its liking or what the fuck I like. But sonically, yeah, definitely hard ass beats. That's a must.
Was there ever a point in your career where you said, you know what, I'm gonna dumb it down, I'm gonna do more simpler things, maybe not be so lyrical, maybe try to fit in with this Atlanta sound aside from the sonic beat feel?
Yeah, definitely. I necessarily wouldn't say like dumb it down, but I was definitely conscious of like, let me not be, because a lot of my shit is super out. A lot of the old shit that people know me from was outlandish, in your face, me saying a bunch of absurd, dumb shit. And also for me, it's a feeling. So I approach each project with a different feeling. So let's say when I did the projects like the Freebase and the Huff and Glue projects, I was just in the mode of, I just want to make some crazy, outlandish shit. So when I go back and do a project like Mink Coat Killer, I may be in the mode like I want to do some lyrical, fucking throwback 90s New York shit, and I'm going to do it. And so when I do a project like Yuck Fu, it's sort of like I want to go back to doing some shit this heavily, you know, have my hometown influence as far as the beats. And so I don't necessarily say I dumb it down. I just, depending on what mode I'm in, I try to make because if I try to do shit that I'm not in the mode, like when I did this Yuck Fu project, I was in that mode. I want to go back to just not thinking too hard, making some shit, and I want to make some shit that's, you know, I want some fucking, I hate to say trap sound, but I want some hard shit, heavy 808s, and that's what I was going for on that project, versus maybe the next project I might approach it different. But I don't necessarily do it to say, let me dumb down so I can fit in. It's just, if I want to do a project where I want to just not be as lyrical, I'm going to do it, then I might do another one.
This was like your self-conscious effort, or were there higher ups? Well, when I say higher ups, I mean management, advisors, consultants, maybe even label reps that said, you know what, maybe we should do some stuff that might conform a little better with the
Nah, for me, them days over for me. Like, I went through that shit in the beginning, like with management and certain people trying to tell me how to make my music. And that type of shit makes me, it puts this thing in me to where I feel like I'm working a fucking 9 to 5. It takes away the passion, it takes away the fun in doing it. And I might as well fucking go work for somebody and do what the fuck somebody else tell me. If I can't do what the fuck I want to do, I'm too grown for that shit. Like, hey, I'm doing what the fuck I want to do. That's it. Like, none of that like management in my ear, label in my ear shit. Like, I don't play that shit. Like, that's out the window with me. Like, so nah. Back in the day, yeah. Now, no, fuck that.
If we could put a percentage on it, what are the chances of a rapper becoming successful with their city behind them versus without? Are you able to put a number to it?
It depends on the sound. I feel that if you, because you got like, I don't know. Me personally, I can't say it all depends. It depends on the sound you're going for. If you're going for, let's say, an eclectic type of sound, you don't necessarily may need the city behind you like that. But if you're going for a sound that your city sounds like, yeah, you would definitely be more successful with your city behind you, because you're doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they go. So I don't know if I answered that right, but
Kind of.
yeah. So basically, let me try it again. I feel that if you're doing something that maybe this left field, okay, like let's say
An acquired
Childish,
taste?
yeah, let's say Childish Gambino. He makes some dope fucking music. The last project he put out is I feel like it was very influenced by like Parliament Funkadelic. He didn't need the city. I feel like he never really had Atlanta behind him. Like he's been making music for a while, and Atlanta's really never. You don't hear his shit on Atlanta radio like that, or you don't hear DJ spinning his shit. Because the sound was so different, and it didn't really. It appealed to a broader audience. Versus, so he didn't necessarily need the fucking. What the fuck does he need Atlanta for? Like, no, like I said before, it's a universe outside of. I mean, it's a whole world outside of Atlanta. But if you're doing something. Like, let's say if you want to sound like Lil Baby or some shit like that, if you're influenced by Future or Baby or Thug and you coming out, I feel like, yeah, you will be more successful if the city get behind that shit. So